Imagine. Take your wildest dream and make it a reality. Make it not a dream anymore. Make it something that's real. Bring it to fruition. Tell yourself you're a star.
Peace, peace, peace. Choose to inspire, not destroy podcast, and we're back.
Austin.
Yo. Choose to inspire, not destroy.
Y'all no nonsense, man. No mess.
You know I'm with the shits.
Here we go. Alright.
What do you got?
Peace. Choose to inspire, not destroy podcast, episode 26, and we're back. I got my guys with me, Brandon, Kofi, I'm G. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining us, giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy. If you've been here before, you already know what's up. Hope you inspired and you getting through what you need to get through, and just have a good time with us. Should I address the elephant in the room out the gate, fellas, or wait?
What are you talking about?
All right. So I'll wait. I'll wait. What's going on? How y'all doing, fellas? It's good to see y'all, man.
Yo, I want to go last. How's your week been?
You want to go last? Oh man.
How was your week?
How was my week?
Is the ACL torn?
Yeah.
Yo, that's not even what I want to get into.
Okay.
Nah.
Since you brought it up, like, she definitely has a torn ACL.
Oh no.
She's in physical therapy right now.
No.
3 times a week she got to do physical therapy. She still might not need the surgery though. But I mean, either way, she got like another 5-6 weeks of physical therapy.
You got to sacrifice You got to sacrifice it in front of her too, right? Like it's like this is like the mid.
Yo, he just got a new one. That's what. That's what I was about to say. Yo, Kofi, this dude is bananas. Yo, he's so inconsiderate, dog. He had the nerve to post it. I peeped it. I was like, I think the caption was upgrade or something like that. It's bigger. It looks cleaner.
Fire. Yep.
Yo.
Are you friends with your wife on that page?
Yeah.
What? Why is everybody laughing? Stop.
Bruh. Nah, I can't condone that.
Stop. I'm asking because I don't know if I'm laying up with my leg up and I go into Facebook and my knee is like the size of a basketball.
Yeah.
Because of the toy, and you bought a bigger toy, bro.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
A bigger, better one. A better word. Like it looks more dangerous, Kofi. Honestly.
It's so good.
Yo,
How's your week, fellas?
Yo, my week was. The week is just starting, really, man. But I had a great weekend. I'm not going front. We had a Saturday dinner. Austin was here. You know, the vibe was right. We cooked some food. We sat around, we chilled, and we talked. So I'm coming off of a wonderful weekend. I'm not even going front.
yeah, my weekend was good. We went to a fair here in Connecticut. It's like an hour away, and my wife's half sister came up from South Carolina with her painting at the festival, so we hung out with them. But her mother her aunt was like, she curated the entire festival, and then I met my wife's stepmother. We had no idea that she was going to be there. She lives in Minnesota.
Have you never met her before?
Well, because it's her stepmom, so like on her father's side, like her dad divorced her mom and got remarried and had like 3 additional kids on that side of the family. So like, but it was young enough for my wife to have spent like time visiting her father and like her stepmom and like for years. Like there's stories, but I had never met her because she's in Minnesota. She worked as a nurse, and most of the time, like my father-in-law would just kind of like come here or whatever. We go down to South Carolina and visit them. So that was cool. Took everybody out to dinner, met some more extended family, which was pretty cool. And yeah, that was it. Watched the Patriots lose, which was fun.
Yo.
Go ahead, B. Spit it out.
Here's what happened.
Spit it out.
My like Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, my comes off the school bus. She comes into the office crying, right? She's like bawling her eyes out. I'm like, yo, what happened? She's like, such and such hit me. I'm like, oh, that's it. Let's go. Right? I get up. I pull her outside the office. I close up whatever I'm doing. I'm like, what's this kid's name? Where's he live? Right? Like, I'm like, where did he get off the bus? Right? And then she's like, I don't know. I know his name. And then like one of the other kids who like hangs out with my daughter and that like the local kids walks through my yard to get to his house. Right? And he's like, I know the kid. I know where he lives. I'm like, yo, you mind getting in the car with me real quick? We have to go address this situation.
He gave it up.
He's like, for sure, right? Get my daughter, get him in the car, drive right over to the kid's house. He's like, he went up this driveway, right? And the driveway splits into a couple different houses. So as we're going up the driveway, you hear somebody say the kid's name. I'm not saying the information on purpose, right?
Yeah,
but you hear somebody saying the kid's name. So I'm like, jackpot. That's the kid's house. All right, we go to the kid's house. I get out the car. The mom's is at the door. I'm like, yo, come here real quick. I need to talk to you. Like, right now.
Yeah.
Right? Steaming. I'm like, vibrating. I'm so angry. I'm like, yo, your kid put his hands on my daughter. We have a problem. He's like, oh, you want to come inside? You want something to drink? I'm like, this ain't a social visit.
Yeah.
That ain't what this is.
Yeah. I'm not welcoming you to the neighborhood.
She calls the kid out, like, what happened? He starts lying, like, I didn't do it. I'm like, I don't care about your lying kid. I don't care about none of this. You just need to make sure your kid never puts his hand on my kid again. I never want to have to come back here again. Like, this is never going to happen again. Right? Whatever, I leave. My wife calls the school, because this happened on the bus. She calls the bus, right? Like, we checking everybody, right?
Yeah.
The kid, when he was telling his version of the story, he said one of my neighbors was involved, right? Somebody that she's friends with. Now, he may or may not have been involved, and she might be covering for him because they're friends or whatever, which I'm cool with accepting. Like, yo, you want to cover for your friend, you want to stick up for your friend. Cool, right? I get it. But I went to his house too, right? Like, I went to his house to see what's happening. Like, I pulled over like 2 buses, right? Like, when we were driving back, I was like, yo, what number's your bus? Like, I'm like, oh, that, and then I had to like wave him off. Like, never mind, you can keep going. I get in the morning, she leaves the bus at like 7 in the morning. I'm there, just waiting for the bus driver to get there. Everybody's like, everything okay? I'm like, it's good, don't worry about it.
Mind your business.
The bus pulls up, immediately he's like, yo, I know, my fault, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool, right? Just make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't want no problems. Yeah. But like, I don't, like, this ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna come here whimpering because some older kid hit her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, cool, I'm thinking, all right, it's all right. I get a call from the school. The school is like, the kid's pops is upset that I came to the crib and ran up on the moms, and like, you know, the school officer or whatever is saying like he could like make trouble because of this. I was like, don't make trouble. I'll press charges on his kid tonight.
Yeah.
What
kind of trouble? What kind of trouble could he make?
That's exactly. So the principal's like insinuating like, yo, he could like make some like press some charges, like he could go, and I'm like, no, he can't. Right? I tell the principal that immediately. I'm like, no, he can't, but I could. I'm like, he's got nothing. I'm like, tell him to do whatever he wants to do. So he's like, no, he just really wants to like resolve it here. Like he wants to. I'm like, no, I'm on my way. I'll be in like 20 minutes. So I go to the school again. I'm even hotter now.
Yeah.
Because before I was mad, that your son was a jerk. Now I'm mad that you're a loser.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're trying to recraft the narrative to be about me versus your son.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I sit there and we're going through it, and they're like continuing to be like, you know, you really shouldn't go to the house. Like, you should have, in our opinion, you should have let the school handle it. I'm like, yo, I don't care about none of y'all opinion. Right?
Yeah.
Like, point blank period.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you know, maybe we should bring the officer in here so he could explain to you. I'm like, maybe you should, so he could explain to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
the public safety officer that's not a cop.
I'm like, bring him in here.
Right.
Bring him in here. He's like kind of like threatening, but like trying to see if it'll like scare me into like backing down, right? Like, yo, we don't want to have to. I'm like, no, I want you to.
Yeah.
Bring him in here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He finally calls the officer into the room, and the officer's like, you know, in my opinion, like, you should really let the school. I'm like, I don't care about your opinion. I don't care about your opinion. I don't care about his opinion.
Yeah.
I don't care about none of y'all opinion.
Yeah.
I'm like, legally, I can walk up to anyone's door, ring the doorbell, have the conversation. I was never asked to leave the premises. They invited me in. Get out.
Yeah,
of
word.
Word. Yeah, I'm like, so now I need you to look this principal in his face and tell him, did I do anything wrong? He's like, well, no. And he's like, I understand. He's like, but I'm like, no. Either, like, I don't want to hear no sugarcoating, no opinions.
Yeah.
Did I do anything wrong? Is anything I did off the table? No. So then the principal starts like, oh, all right, my fault. Like, what he said before was different, right? So, like, I'm guessing, like, the wife crafted some Karen narrative where, like, oh, I ran up in the crib looking for the kid.
Yeah.
So then he had to, like, fully backtrack off that shit. Mind you, the Pops is, like, 6'12", 300 pounds. I was, like, checking him immediately. I'm like, yo, because at some point, I'm like, yo, your son is a terrible kid. I'm like, he hits you, he hits your wife, and the principal's like, hey, you know, you don't want to go off rumors, blah, 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 because you don't know if that's true. And I looked at Pops in his eyes, I'm like, but you know.
Yeah.
You know it's true. You know your kid is trash, right? Like, directly. Like,
Yo, that's crazy. You said you can't, B, you can't be saying that, man. You can't be calling people kids trash. He's a troubled youth. He's a troubled
He
youth.
put his hands on my child.
Nah, you're right. I can dig it. I respect it. Yo, isn't it crazy with the kids being back to school? For a whole year and change, you didn't have to worry about that at all. Like, school
I never
was.
worried about it before.
Yeah.
Like, everything was good.
Yeah.
Now this little sucker kid want to be fucking impressing his friends.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah,
Check
you-
your kid, fam.
Yeah, he bugging out.
Get
You
all that out of here.
can't be doing that at all. He should know better than to be putting his hands on a girl anyway. Like, it's just,
For real.
it's out of
Kid is
order.
trash.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're right. My bad. I retract that last statement about you can't say that. You could say that. Kid
So
is
the Pops kept trying to bait me to be like, yo, are you saying you will come to the house again? I'm like, I have no reason to go to your house if your kid doesn't do anything. Are
Yeah.
you saying you're not going to handle the situation?
Yeah.
Right? I just kept flipping it on him, right? Like,
Yeah.
get out of here, fam. You're not going to bait me into saying something that you can
Yeah.
try and possibly use against me.
Yeah.
Make
You
me
should have
a
asked
bad
him.
guy. What?
Like, are you inviting me to your house?
Is your wife gonna invite me over again?
Right.
Y'all are terrible. Get out of here. Stop trying to carry me and white guilt me into being a bad guy. Like, y'all were super wrong. End of discussion. Right? That's all I kept saying. I'm like, I'm never going to change my mind on it. Like, I'm never. I told the principal, I'm like, I'll go to the next parent's house and the next parent's house. I'm never going
Yeah.
to just sit there and let this
Yeah.
happen and just ignore it.
Yeah,
It's never going to
yeah,
happen.
yeah. It's impossible.
Outta here.
It's
Yeah.
impossible. I
Yo,
hate back to school. Back to school is
The
terrible.
way I jumped out of my chair, fam, it didn't take 1 minute.
Yeah,
It was just like,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
we're handling this
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I got to start offline though, because it's about. Now, like it's with like a Academy Award winning line and similar situation, but yeah, crazy. Like, had us looking like we like George. You've been up here, you know the demographics up here. And I was just astonished. I was like, you guys are lucky, Cecily, because you guys will be on punishment forever.
I think you told me. Did did we talk about this, Kofi?
Was it about right before the birthday party?
Yeah, that they waited. They waited until after. You didn't find out till after.
One of them, the one that was upset, wasn't even in
Yeah.
school
Yeah.
about it. Wasn't like
Yeah.
we were quarantined here. So when I heard, I was like, man, that's then when my wife told me more details and she figured it out, she's like, no. The two of you were actually home when this happened. And I'm like, wait.
Wow.
We were home. We had the birthday party. You went to school on Monday. On Tuesday, you're crying at recess about something that didn't happen to you, and you weren't even at school? Hold on. I was like,
Yeah.
It was nuts.
It was crazy when you was telling me. It's a lot going on, and the whole back to school thing is different, man. They went from being home all the time, every day, to knowing what the routine was going to be, to getting dropped off now, being out the crib for hours in a whole new, not a new world, but a new world. It's crazy. This shit is driving me it's driving me crazy. I ain't going front. Yo, shout out to my wife. You are the best. I watched her transport the kids for years from Jersey to New York every day, faithfully. 2 kids, bags, her stuff, all types of shit. She made that move. Yo, I've been dropping them the past couple of weeks, and I'm like, I gotta go to bed early. I'm burnt out. They live 5 minutes away. I'm barely. But it's just crazy, man. We'll talk about that offline too more. But it's wild. Shout out to her, man. Respect for how much you do and how much you did.
So,
my wife wakes up early in the morning and lets me sleep in. Right? Like she does all that super early, that 6:30 in the morning stuff, lets me sleep until I gotta get up at 7, right? It's not like a big difference.
Yeah.
But she handles it, right? She don't even think about it. Shout outs to that.
Yeah.
Right? That 30 minutes is critical.
Yeah. They be looking out. It's crazy. She be on the treadmill, getting them ready for school, doing all types of stuff. And it be like, all right, yo, let's go. And we be making a move, man. It's a whole new life. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, for real.
That's dope. They just ride with her to work. There's medication and all that in the morning, and I started getting into the routine of getting up and doing that because I'm trying to work out early in the morning. But they legit just ride with her in the car, same school.
Oh, that's smooth. That's smooth. Damn, you lucked out with that one.
Yes, no, incredibly awesome. It's it kind of sucks for her because she's working all day long outside of when they're in class, but something happens, they're at her room, right? Or first to hear about it or whatever. And it's kind of they don't think about it now, but it's also I think added pressure, right, for my wife because. Listen, they're a reflection of what we got going on in the house. 100%. And most people don't even know the situation, right? So they're if something happens, they're what's up with your kids? And it's no, we got them this way, right? And we're trying to work through some of that stuff. But her coworkers, it's imagine working with your wife, and at any moment during the day, she could just do something really random that's not so good, and then your boss would be like, hey, by the way, we need to talk about your significant other. So kudos to her for dealing with that and all the added pressure and
Word. Much respect. She's a full-time mom for real, stepping up to the plate and holding it down. So respect. I think B froze again.
Nah, I ain't
No.
frozen.
Oh.
On another note,
Yo, stop playing, man. He doing the damn mannequin challenge. Oh, by the way, yo, that's a nice cut, B. Yo, Kofi, he did that haircut while we was on the phone. We was talking.
oh,
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah,
That's
I get my
dope.
clippers.
did you line it up yourself also?
Did I?
Did you line it yourself also?
Yeah. I do the whole shebang.
That's dope.
I did a full tape. It was like lower because it was like a week
Yeah.
ago. I did like a full taper fade. I did all of it. I go to work.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It was alright, Kofi. I ain't even going front. And we was on the phone while he was doing it. So I gotta give it up because I heard the Clippers. I had to be like, yo, these Clippers are driving me crazy, dog. Like, I don't want to hear that right now. And he sent the pic, and I was like, all right, you do your thing. You really get busy.
He was like, "Wait, you cutting it? I'm like, "Yeah, I'm about to do all of it." He's like, "Hold on a second, because I had hair, right?" Like he's like, "You about to?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm about to just give the season real quick,
Word.
drop it down."
Word. He had just had the blow.
Like the day before, I was like, I got tired of looking homeless.
It's like, I got a spot. I got somewhere to be. Yo, it feels good to be sitting down, kicking it with y'all again, man. I was looking forward to recording day for real. It's one of the best days of the week for me.
Yeah.
But I got a question though. I got a real question, and this is one that I'm looking forward to hearing what I got to say because I needed an opinion, pretty much. I want to know when do
Venom
you
is terrible.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, but you.
Venom is terrible.
Oh, you saw it? Damn, that's the thing you was making the figures of, right, Kofi?
Yeah, it was terrible. Forgettable.
Oh man.
Is that Marvel? Is off the subject
It
for a
is.
second. Marvel, I mean, Carnage and all of that is a part of Marvel?
Yeah.
It's not a part of the MCU outright, right? Like Sony owns the rights to those characters.
That's why it's terrible.
It's like the trash Marvel.
Yeah, I mean
The lower level, like how they got Polo and Beverly Hills Polo. Like how it be affiliated, but it's not the same.
You know what it is? It's a perfect example of how successful or unsuccessful a movie studio could be based on its producers, right?
Okay.
Because so Sony owns the rights to all of Spider-Man and all of Spider-Man's characters, right? So the Spider-Man you see in Infinity War, right, and all of those solo Spider-Man movies, right, with Tom Holland, the young kid, are pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Right? But they also do Venom, which sucks. The difference is Kevin Feige's involved heavily in one, and they've told Sony, give us the keys to do Spider-Man correctly. You guys can keep like 90% of the profit, for this.
As long as he can appear in Avengers also.
Right. And Sony's like, okay, well then we'll create our own Spider-Man villain universe, and it's trash. So yeah. I mean, it's one of those movies where you forget the entire movie when you see the post-credit scene, and the post-credit scene has nothing to do with the movie.
All right. I wasn't going to see it anyway. Nah, appreciate it. But I wasn't going to check it out anyway. I just want to know when y'all feel like it's time to let go. How do you know when it's time to let go and just walk away from something? And it could be, whatever.
Kofi, you can go first because I just had a long.
I mean, I think it depends on what it is, or what it is. You just like as a manager, George, this as we work together. My always been, I'm gonna do everything I can for you to be successful. I'll even take whatever comes from above, as long as we're working towards something and as long as you're showing care, appreciation, and improvement. But when I throw in the towel, it's usually because I feel like I've exhausted all resources. Um, and so, that's it related to work. There's other things where, like personal relationships, it depends on what was done. Like, there's a degree to which the timing is cut. Like, it exponentially decreases as the offense gets um, worse. But I think I usually end up having a conversation with myself, like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? This is absolutely ridiculous that I'm out here doing something for this person and it just looks crazy from the outside looking in, and this person, is unappreciative of it. This is nuts. So I really think it depends. And I also, a little bit of me also weighs the pros and cons to walking away, right? Like everything else in life, right? Like, I think of one example that like we all can relate to because we've heard these stories about how, in certain types of marriages, right? Especially when money is involved, it's cheaper to keep the person, right?
Cheaper to keep her. Yep.
Because, and it's for both parties. It's not just for, the stereotypical man trying to divorce his wife. It's cheaper to keep her, but it's cheaper for both parties, I guess. When you look at it from both points of view, depending on what the motivation is, right? The spouse who may or may not be working anymore because of the breadwinner may say, I don't want to actually have to go back to work. And what's the likelihood of me being able to find a spouse that can do X, Y, and Z in terms of take care of the family? So I'm willing to let more slide, right? And for the other person, it's, am I willing to pay this crazy price, based on some archaic formula? Because like some of these numbers, like I was not paying like $70,000 a month. I was like, what is the baby eating?
It would be
right.
crazy.
But I think I also weigh options. Just like if you're planning on leaving a job, right? It's like, you probably, the worst thing you can do is probably leave without having anything, because that doesn't work. But if you have something else and it's just as good, you're all of a sudden looking at the one that you're currently in that you're happy at. Like, I'm not really happy here, whatever. So I think it's a sliding scale, and I weigh the options, but I try and give best effort, and until I'm exhausted, I just can't do it anymore.
Yo, for me, it's like for most relationships, right? Like the line in the sand for me is like messing up my home life, right? In any way, shape, or form, right? Like, like I don't talk to my brother because when I was saving for a down payment, he was stealing from me, right? And that's like taking food from my daughter's mouth, right? Like I'm trying to build a better future, and you're detracting from that. And I don't deal with no one who brings chaos into my family, right? I've had some like issues with friends, with relatives, with in-laws, and it's all like, yo, you can keep the noise on the outside, right? But like we're peaceful here, right? Like we're happy and healthy and everyone's good. So if you're not bringing to that, right? Or even just maintaining, right? Like you don't owe me anything. But once you start making chaos for my home situation and my family, and especially my daughter, you can kick rocks. And I hold grudges. Like, I haven't spoken, like, George, of an older brother of mine, right? And I don't speak, like, I don't even consider him family, right? Like, when I do the count, even though I don't really talk to my younger brother, I still consider him, right? If they're like, how many siblings you got? I'm like, my older sister's my young. I never considered that dude, right? Like, he's not even in the equation.
Who is that guy?
Yep, right? Like, that's the way I draw the line in the sand.
Do you find people give you, not whether you care or not, do you find that people kind of give you a weird look when you're like, yo, I have no problem cutting family off?
Yeah, like, I feel like way too many people believe that family gets a pass on everything, right? Like, there are clear boundaries that I have established, and people just want you to ignore it because, like, you guys share some lineage somewhere. And, like, how far do you draw that, right? Like, I need to let my brothers and sisters just be crazy, right? And like I gotta keep dealing with it, right? And then I gotta continue like with aunts that I haven't spoken to ever, right? That wasn't at my mother's funeral, uncles that I don't have any kind of feelings for, right? Like I'm supposed to just let them be trash and just, hey, unc.
This dude, yo, he
That'll be
keep
good.
Yeah, I saw.
at least he comes back quick.
See, y'all are doing it, and then y'all talk about me like I'm the scumbag.
Basically, people can feel however they feel. I don't care, right? And further down that line, when it comes to like acquaintances and people of that nature, right? The way I feel about all that stuff is like, if I'm doing good, I'm not gonna let me do bad, right? Like there's no, and I'm not even upset when I do it, right? Because I'm doing well, right? I'm not rich, I'm not anything, but like I'm doing well. I know how to appreciate every single brick in my house, right? So like, if you detracting from my happiness, I'm just like, all right, nice talking to you. It's been real.
Yeah,
This is where the train stops.
yeah, 100%. Nothing else matters. Yo, B, it's crazy because I could see that one wheel in the corner, the corner of you. Are you doing that on purpose? Yeah, don't be that type of individual, man. Please don't be that type of dude.
The crazy Jerry would be if you Photoshop it into your wedding photo. That is cold blooded.
Yeah. Nah.
Yo, G, so where do you draw the line, fam?
Yo, I'm still trying to figure out where my line is. Honestly, like for so long, I feel like I always was just quick to detach. It was like the slightest thing you would do, I'm out of here. I'm good. I don't want to have no contact, no communication, nothing. It was easy for me to pull the plug. But now I feel like I'm forcing myself to put up with more stuff than I usually would, and I don't like it. Like it's just making me uncomfortable because I'm like, yo, if it's wrong, it's wrong. You got to just leave it at that. If I don't agree, I don't agree. I don't agree, and I don't need to try and figure out an angle to make it fit. If it don't fit, then it don't fit, and I feel like I'm just forcing myself to try and be more accepting and understanding of stuff that I usually wouldn't. So I'm just trying to find a balance because I feel like it was extreme before, but now I feel like I'm playing myself, and I don't want to feel like I'm playing myself.
Is there a right? So like, there are people who get a pass, right, in my life, right? Like, my godmoms, I like, if she stabs someone, I'm hiding the body, right? Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She gets a pass.
Yeah.
My cousin James, like when I was in a foster home and all that stuff, and he like bought me a coat, and he was like, he would hold me down and all that stuff. Like, he went through a period where shit was crazy, and I still like covered his rent, right? Like I'm still like, yo, nah, I got him, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so like, there are people who get a pass for good reason.
Yeah.
Right? Like, is that what you feel like you looking over, or is even simpler than that?
It's that's a good question. That's a good question. Because I do have people that get a pass. Like my brother Chris, he gets a major pass. Major. Oh man, this dude, it's like, yo, dog, I should be kicking your back in every single second of the day. But I be giving it up like he can't do no wrong. Whenever I see him or I talk to him, I just can't be mad no more. I can't have that energy with him. And so I get it. But I think it's really on me. I think I'm not being true to myself, dog, to just what I believe in it and how I feel, and understanding that I'm entitled to feel however I want to feel. I don't gotta like what you do. I don't gotta like what you say. I don't gotta like the energy that you presenting if it don't work with me. That's it. Like, it's not a shot to you. It's no shade to you. It's just, yo, that shit is just not for me. And if it's not for me, then I can't do it.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. But hold on. Let me address the elephant in the room before we go even further. And nothing that I've said.
Did you get Facebook and Instagram were down today?
What?
Yeah,
Nah. He's still. You're not gonna be able to run from this one. And it's not even gonna be. It's gonna be sincere, and it's coming from me. And it's personal. You know, we get real personal on here, and we share a lot, and we've kind of been an open book for the most part. And if you've been watching up until this point, then it's gonna look weird to not see Rion anymore on the show. But I want to be clear. Even though Rion is not on the show anymore, Rion is still my guy. Me and Rion have had a good relationship, a great relationship. I wish him well. I wish him success. I wish him honor and peace and nothing but the best. Like, Rion is my dog. He's just not going to be a part of this situation anymore. B is back. It wasn't a trade-off. It wasn't like a sub or a swap. It's just the way it worked out. B is the homie. He's our guy also. And B, we appreciate you, dog, and we're happy to officially have you back in the building.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Solid.
Word. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what we do, you know, because we had some good momentum going, and then B, you stepped to the side for a little bit, and now you back. So I want to see what that energy is like and what we could put together and see if we could just be inspired, you know, and Rion is still love for me, dog. You already know what it is.
Yeah, man, it'd be good for like episode 50 or something like that. If we could figure out how to, like, once that time has passed, see if we could get an appearance or something like that. Just invite.
Yeah. But I don't want, like, you know, when you hold up. I don't want to lose the vibe and energy that we had before that. You know, when you could feel like the shit, you sucked the life out of the room. I don't want it to feel like I got all serious and deep and whatnot. I had to do that. And, you know, it's back to business with us. And y'all letting me know how y'all let go. I kind of got the answers that I was expecting to get. B, I knew you was, you know, cold-blooded killer, ready to pull the trigger. And Kofi, man, you a good dude, man. Got a good heart. You Mr. Kumbaya. That's why I rock with you, for real.
Well, thank you.
Word. Back to school. Good luck, fellas. Like, good luck to the babies being out there, being in the world. Be safe, be careful. Good luck to our wives. Good luck to you out there. Just, you know, everybody stay happy, stay healthy. Whatever you do, no matter who you are, wherever you are, no matter what you're doing, just be inspired. Choose to inspire, not destroy. You heard? Peace.
Yo, choose to inspire, not destroy.